Alright, what's going on guys? In this video I'm going to be counting down top 5 best UK clothing brands, and make sure you stay around for the number 1 spot because I bet my left arm you're not going to guess it. But before we start this video, do yourself a favour and subscribe. I make a whole bunch of these types of videos on my channel. But yeah, with all of that stuff out the way with, let's get into the number 5 spot. Coming in at the number 5 spot we have is Cortez, and I can't lie, I was very reluctant on putting Cortez in the number 5 spot. Just for the simple fact that it's a very new brand and it needs more time to mature as an actual brand. However, Cortez has definitely made its name for itself in the UK clothing industry. You do see a lot of celebrities wearing Cortez in the UK, and also Cortez has had a lot of viral moments, such as selling cargo trousers for £1, and probably its most viral moment yet is when they sold the bolo jackets. One of the main things I do like about Cortez is the creativity in terms of the marketing strategies they actually use. Obviously, like I said, the stuff with them going viral and also other stuff like you actually need a password to access a website. However, the reason why it isn't higher on the list is because I feel like Cortez has a lot more growing to do. They haven't really got like a statement piece that is sort of their cash cow. Obviously, you got Trapstar that is more known for their coats and partly their tracksuits as well. But with Cortez, you ain't really got that staple piece, maybe the cargos, but that's pretty much it. So for the simple fact that Cortez needs more time to actually grow as a brand, that is the reason why I put it at the number 5 spot. Obviously, talking about Trapstar, we do have Trapstar coming in at the number 4 spot, and there is no denying at the moment that Trapstar is probably the biggest streetwear brand in the UK. Trapstar has fully solidified itself as a certified UK streetwear brand. I would say the main thing I do like about Trapstar is their clothing. I feel like their clothing range is very unique to them, and obviously they're very diverse as well. When I say diverse, I mean they cater towards men and women. But I can't really say they don't branch out into, different avenues of fashion. I haven't really seen Trapstar branch out into, different sort of realms in fashion, such as, gym wear or even vintage. But that isn't necessarily a bad thing. Obviously, stay in your lane and that. But yeah, Trapstar is just such a goated brand. I believe Jay-Z is actually invested in with Trapstar as well. And another thing that I do like about Trapstar is they put on for the UK so much. For example, doing collaborations with a lot of UK rappers. Artists such as Central C, Dave and even Blade Brown. And one of the earliest collaborations they actually did with a UK artist is with Section Boys, and I believe they made a song together, or Section Boys made a song and did it with Trapstar. I'm not really sure, but this song is actually sick.
Them noise, them gal there say them man moist. Trapstar man, I wear Trapstar clothes. Make sure I bring pack when I do roll. Hands on the strap might lick out your soul. Ain't giving shit back when I take a man's load.
Pink oil, ayy. Shut down shows or raves. I know her from the estate. Who's your boy?
But yeah, definitely Trapstar, a certi brand within the UK, and yeah, that was a number 4 spot. Okay, so I did say Trapstar was probably the biggest UK streetwear brand in the UK at this point. However, if we're talking UK streetwear brands worldwide, it has to be Palace. Obviously, I do know that Trapstar is very big in the UK and also Europe, but Palace is worldwide. You got Palace stores in, I think, Japan or China. Then you got Palace stores in America, Europe, London. I mean, Trapstar is a certain brand, but, Palace is just a little bit above Trapstar. One of my favourite things I do like about Palace is it sort of has a personality. Like, if you go on their website, their descriptions to certain items are a little bit funny and not taken too seriously. And also, the clothes are just heavy. There's a lot of staple items within Palace. And another thing that makes Palace a goated streetwear brand in the UK is the collaborations. Palace are doing collaborations with brands such as Moschino, Ralph Lauren, even Gucci. I'm sorry, yeah, but to secure a collaboration with Gucci, yeah, like there is no topping that. And another thing that I do rate about Palace highly is they sort of brung back Avisu. Avisu is a jean company big back in the day, but they're not really popping that much anymore. And Palace actually did a collaboration with them a couple years ago that sort of, brung the brand back to life. And yeah, Palace, all round goated brand. Don't chat to me that Trapstar is better than Palace. It might be in the UK, but in terms of the worldwide and the worldwide sort of scale, it isn't. I'm sorry, get out of here, mate. Alright, and now let's step away from the streetwear brands, yeah. Let's talk about a bit designer, yeah, okay. So obviously there is only really one designer brand in the UK that is actually a certified designer brand, and that brand that I'm talking about is Burberry. And Burberry is probably one of my favourite designer brands of all time. Like, it's just such a crazy brand. And yes, you have guessed it, my favourite bit about Burberry is the fact that it's English and also this Burberry flannel print.
I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
It's just so beautiful, very aesthetic. It is loud, but it's quiet at the same time, and you know, it just looks good on so many items. And also, Burberry actually invented the trench coat. Basically, in World War One and World War Two, Burberry supplied the British Army with the actual uniforms, and they made this coat, and yeah, they called it the trench coat because obviously you're in the trenches, and yeah, that is how the trench coat was created. And a couple of other items that Burberry is sort of famous for, definitely this long sleeve shirt with the flannel print all over it. And also the Burberry scarf, that is just a staple. I want to say that they sort of made it like a trendy thing to have designer scarves. But yeah, Burberry, 1010 brand, you know, 30 brand, and yeah, that was the number 2 spot. Alright, before I go into the number 2 spot, I am going to give a couple of honourable mentions. Sorry if I don't mention your favourite brand. Yeah, I do apologise, but yeah, let's get into this. Alright, so the first clothing brand we have is Superdry. You probably didn't think it was a UK brand, but it actually is. Obviously, it's got Chinese letters all within the logo or whatever, but it is actually a UK streetwear brand. Okay, and now the next clothing brand we have is Hoodrich, and Hoodrich is sort of like Trapstar, but just, you know, a little bit shitter. But regardless, still a decent clothing brand, but you know, nothing really too much to say about that. And then next we have is Benjar. Benjar is a very respectable brand. They sort of, you know, not introduced, but they sort of popularized, you know, sort of a luxurious tracksuit, let's say. And the next clothing brand we have is Nice London. This is just one where I just thought, fuck it, like let me just sling it in here. Nice London is a certain brand. I used to fuck with it a lot back in the day. It's not really popping right now, but yeah, it's still a certain brand. Alright, and now the number 1 spot, yeah, and you lot are probably scratching your head thinking, what brand could it be, yeah? And none of you are going to guess it. None of you are going to guess it. But yeah, this brand literally saw a gap in the market, and it just exploited it down to a treat. And, you know, I have to take my hat off to this brand because, you know, you ain't really seen a brand do this, and they were sort of the first people to do it and make it actually big. But yeah, cool. Anyway, coming in at the number 1 spot, we have is Gymshark. And I know a lot of you people are hurting right now, but let me just explain myself, yeah? Alright, so I want to say maybe 2008, yeah. There wasn't really a brand to cater towards, you know, people going to the gym. Obviously, you did have the bodybuilder sort of, you know, gear, but it wasn't really, you know, you needed that mainstream gym apparel. And Gymshark filled that gap beautifully. And they cater towards men and females, which just opens up the market even more. And for the simple fact that Gymshark was sort of the first gym brand to, you know, exploit that market, you know, I have to take my hat off. And now Gymshark is probably one of the biggest fitwear, you know, brands of all time. And what I do like about Gymshark is I was watching an interview the other day, and basically what he was saying is when the brand first, like, you know, come about and stuff, he actually exploited the Google search terms or something, and basically he just, you know, got bare sales just from doing the YouTube search engine. And yeah, that is going to be it for today's video. If you do agree, please leave a like, a comment, and also subscribe. And until next time, I'm out.